Welcome to Linus Tech Tips at CES 2013. Our trip to the show this year is powered by Corsair, maker of quality PC components and peripherals. Our trusted storage partner is Seagate Technology, and our trusted networking partner is Linksys. Here we are in the Silverstone suite where they have a wide variety of new stuff on display. Some of this is super new, some of this is super not quite as new, but we're just going to kind of go from left to right here, and I'm going to pick some of the highlights that I think are really cool. So this is a case modder's dream. It's a dual 140mm fan filter with magnets. So all you do is you cut a hole in your case. It doesn't have to be super beautiful or anything like that. You take this guy, stick it on there, and it's going to look super clean no matter what you did, any mistakes you made or whatever else. These are an updated version of their magnetic fan filters that use mesh that is so fine that you actually can't really even see it. So this is going to pick up any of the smallest dust particles and filter those out before they start clogging up your system or potentially risk, getting buildup on something and having a short or anything like that. Moving right along, we've got this, which is extremely cool. So these ones right here, the black ones, are only for Silverstone power supplies, and unlike other individually sleeved cables, these ones are using a braided nylon. So we're not, okay, so yeah, you can talk about MDPC sleeving all you want. This is a significant step above that in terms of the quality. These will be completely resistant to any kind of cutting or damage, and they will just feel nicer, look nicer, just better in every possible way. They not only have the black ones for their own power supplies, but also multiple colored ones in the form of extensions that'll be universally compatible even with other power supplies. There's one more neat accessory here I want to show you guys. So you have a 5¼ inch bay on your notebook. Okay, cool. You don't use your optical drive? Forget about it. Put an SSD in this. Okay, it adapts the native connector that's inside your bay to a 2½ inch mount, and you're off to the races. You've added an SSD to your notebook, or even a second SSD at that point. Now we're going to move over to this table here, where we've got sort of an updated line, some updated products in the Treasure Storage series. So they've got a 2-bay small enclosure. This guy right here is USB 3. They have a 2-bay larger enclosure. This one supports RAID, USB 3, and eSATA. There's actually drives inside it right now as well, so it's quite heavy here. Very solid construction, so solid piece of aluminum on the front, brushed for a very nice finish. Let's go ahead and open that up. So these you can just pop out. It's totally toolless. You just use the handle right there. And last but not least, they have a 4-bay version of pretty much that one. They're also getting into mobile accessories. So this is cool, actually. This is a 7mm slim 2½ inch external drive. So you can put either a slim hard drive or a slim SSD in there, as long as it's 7mm. So I'll pull out the old iPhone comparison here just so you guys can see. It's not that much thicker. Actually, it's about the same as an iPhone 4. And then in terms of the size this way, it's not that much bigger. So very, very convenient, very rugged, because it's made out of what appears to be a solid piece of aluminum around the outside here. So very, very, very strong once you do up the screws. They've also got a couple of mobile charging accessories. So this is kind of neat because it takes AA batteries. Yeah, there's solar charging ones. There's ones that you charge over USB, but there's something to be said for the convenience of being able to say, oh crap, I can't charge my thing, I have nothing, I have no access to a wall outlet, but I can go buy some batteries, or I carry AA batteries with me, or whatever else. So there's a 2-battery one, as well as a 4-battery version of that available. We're going to wrap up this clip of the Silverstone suite with a couple of cases here. So we recently did a video on the NCIX Tech Tips channel of the SG09. Well, this is the SG10, which is basically the same case, very innovative case, very compact case. Takes 4 2½ inch drives, 2 3½ inch drives, 2 dual slot graphics cards, an MATX motherboard, up to like a 1,000-watt power supply or whatever you can fit in a standard ATX, huge tower cooler. It's a very, very well engineered case, and what they've done is they've taken the plastic bezel off of it and they've added a more Silverstone looking aluminum and mesh bezel that is much more in line with sort of the design styling that I'd expect from them. The way that things stay cool enough in a chassis like this is there's actually fans built into the side panel and a very large air penetrator fan on the top that forces air into the chassis, and it should be filtered. I don't know where the top of this is, but I'm quite certain that it's filtered. So it forces air into the chassis while keeping dust out of it. And if you've heard of Intel's new platform, this is the PTU13. So that's their super low power, sort of highly integrated platform. So check this out. The board has an integrated power supply right here. Power in, AC, no big deal, okay? And then it adapts that to, or rather you need a power adapter to go into here. So it's a DC to DC power supply. So it's got things like SATA power output. Let's try to get you a better angle on that. So you can plug in your single drive, which is going to sit right up here on the lid. You've got 2 SATA data connectors, and Silverstone has a special cooler for it that also is able to keep the CPU cool as well. There's a PCIe 4X slot on this particular Intel board, but I don't know if you'd be able to use it. But the point of this is not necessarily maximum expandability. 2 SODIMM slots as well as an M-SATA slot here, as well as a mini PCIe for wireless. So it's not necessarily expandability, but more just to do with the size. So in this case, we have a full computer, excluding the external power supply, that is basically in the form factor that we would have seen a 5 1/4 inch external optical drive only a few short years ago. Don't miss any of our CES 2013 coverage, and don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips. Thanks for watching Linus Tech Tips at CES 2013, powered by Corsair, Seagate Technology, and Linksys.